What's up, Nerf Herders? Hope you're all doing well out there. So I'm going to do a little follow-up video to my Captain Marvel video I put up a couple days ago. A lot of you have been following this and seeing this, and it's just been a crazy situation. Of course, on Rotten Tomatoes, Captain Marvel, the whole want-to-see percentage went from the 90s to a low of 26%. I think it was at 27 or 28 whenever I did my video, but it got down to 26. And now Rotten Tomatoes has decided to entirely remove that feature. So you can no longer comment on a movie prior to release, and you can't downvote it. You can upvote it, which doesn't give you a percentage, but you can click and say you want to see, and it's keeping track of how many users want to see, which I don't know what that does at all. It doesn't create anything. You can't go on there and say, oh, so 35,000 people say they want to see this, must be great. It doesn't really do anything, so I don't know why that's even on there. If you're going to disable it all, just take it all off. So, of course, this is riding on the heels of everything with Captain Marvel going from the high 90s down to that 26%. And Rotten Tomatoes has come out and said they've been wanting to do this for a while. And even if that's so, this definitely got pushed up and happened due to Captain Marvel. They can say as much as they want, it had nothing to do with Captain Marvel. It's just way too coincidental of a time. And if you were planning on doing this the whole way, I would have waited till after Captain Marvel even released, just so it doesn't tie so closely to this. So doesn't look well for Rotten Tomatoes, doesn't look good for Disney or Marvel to go in there and do this, because people are being silenced. People who have a voice and a platform to go speak are being silenced. And it's really a bummer that this whole thing has happened. And I hate that this whole thing is going on, because the whole idea that Brie Larson is trying to push here is there should be more inclusion, but really by the way that she's going about handling herself, it's creating more diversity, and that sucks, because that's not the right way to go about doing this, and you shouldn't be using your platform on, I mean, really the most successful film franchise in history with everything that Marvel's accomplished, and using that as a platform to preach about this shit. And it's totally fine if you want to talk about stuff. There's just ways to handle yourself. When you're in these positions, you got to be really careful about what you're saying and how you're saying it, because there's going to be people that take it to heart. There's going to be extremist views on it. You're going to get a lot of people that jump on Brie Larson's bandwagon and go, yeah, that's right, you know, fuck white men. And then you're going to get a bunch of people that are going to be like, no, fuck that, and black people this. And it turns into way too much diversity, because you're creating an extremist emotion out of this. And then you got people that are in the middle, and I'm one of the people I think are more in the middle. I'm not overly bothered by everything that Brie Larson says, but I'm not pleased by it either, because we should really be talking about inclusion. You know, if you want to sit here and make your comments about white men and too many white male, you know, movie reviewers, and A Wrinkle in Time's not made for a 40-some-odd-year-old white guy to review and stuff, that's fine. But there's plenty of movies that I've watched and really enjoyed that I would say a white male's not the target audience for. So I don't know why we even got to get into the gender and, you know, and into the racial things and identity politics with all this stuff. There's really no reason for that. Movies are made for whoever the hell wants to go watch them. And if there's a target audience that they're made for, fine, but that doesn't stop anybody else from going out and watching it. All right, like that's what's annoying. That's creating diversity. All right, like the movie Frozen, it's made for kids. I went and enjoyed the hell out of that movie. And there's tons of movies. I mean, look at, what's his face? I can't think of the guy's name now. The lawyer from Gone Girl, Tyler Perry. The movies that he makes with the whole Medea thing, do you think that's a target audience to go towards white males? Like, of course not. But do white males go and watch the movie? Sure. I mean, like, movies are just open for everybody, man. It's an art form, and it's subjective to whoever wants to have their own opinions on those things. And if you pay the money to go see the movie, or if your career is to be a film critic, or people are looking to your reviews because they trust your opinion, I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, Asian, a woman. I mean, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, dude. You've got the right to speak openly about how that movie had an impact on you, all right? Not every movie's made for everybody, so that's the beauty of film. It's subjective. Totally subjective. The Last Jedi is another perfect example of that, all right? Like, obviously, there's a diversive audience with that film, and that's perfectly okay. It's creating discussion, and people can talk about film. You can hate the movie, and that's fine. You can love the movie, and that's fine. That's what movies are here for. So those kinds of comments that Brie Larson is making is really creating more diversity. And if she wanted to make this inclusive, you don't come out and say, well, we need less white men. You should come out there and say, well, we need more people of color and more women to get involved and share their opinion with things. Go for it. Like, go for it. We've all got cameras. I'm sitting in my car with my phone right here to record a video to put on YouTube. Everybody's got the power to do that and share their opinions with anything and talk about any movie that they want to. So let's do more inclusiveness instead of dividing people. All right, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. All right, don't kick white men down, because that's going to create an opportunity for people of color and women and, you know, the LGBTQ community and all this stuff to have a voice. We've all got voices. We can all share them. Like, we're all people living on the same planet together. What we need to do is just accept the fact that we're all humans. All right, and I know there's problems with this world and there's issues out there and people, you know, there's racism and all this stuff. There's issues out there in this world, but it should not become an issue in the film community, man. With movies, this brings people together from all walks of life, regardless of your background or how you feel about things, all right? Like, we're all here to enjoy and just be entertained and turn our brains off from the reality of the world. We've got enough bullshit going on with politics and all this stuff that we don't need this to be running through our movies. So, Brie Larson, if you want there to be more inclusiveness, you can't be inclusive with not including people too, all right? Like, you can't say, well, too many white men on my press tour and too many white men doing this and reviewing this movie and we need less white men reviewing. No, we don't, dude. However many white men want to review movies and talk about movies is fine. If you want to get other people more included, tell them, get them more included. Anybody that's watching this video, if you are not a white man, make a video and talk about movies. Just do it. There's nothing wrong with this stuff, man. Like, promote the inclusivity. I don't even know if that's a fucking word, but promote more people to be included with things. We don't have to tell white men to step down from anything. Like, everybody has a voice. It's 2019, all right? We need to be more inclusive for everybody. There's no reason to not include anyone. We should be talking about that. And with your platform, that's what you should be using it for. More inclusiveness, instead of making it feel like the white man has way too much to say about stuff, so we need to get less white men and bring in other people. People can do whatever they want. There's nothing wrong with a white man talking about movies. We don't got to get into race and gender and identity politics with this stuff, man. Anybody can share their opinion on a movie, regardless if it's made for them or not. So it's a bummer that Rotten Tomatoes has now taken away that platform for people to talk about movies before release or share their, share their problems with it. Brie Larson made a lot of comments that obviously hit people in the wrong way, and now they're out there sharing their displeasure with this on Rotten Tomatoes, and that has now been silenced, and that is entirely wrong. That is entirely wrong. You're taking away what your whole website's about. Your website is about film and movie reviews and stuff, and I know there's other things on there, but primarily people go to your website to look at the reviews and see the anticipation for stuff. The fact that people have been silenced is a total bummer, and all these websites that are covering this stuff, they keep talking about people being trolls and all this. This is not a troll type of a thing. This is a cause and a reaction to that cause, all right? People obviously had a sour taste in their mouth from the things that were said from Brie Larson, and rightfully so. So they went to the website and they shared their displeasure with it. That's a platform for them to have a voice with that. And now that's gone. All right, this isn't, a bunch of people sitting in their basements just wanting to go spam a movie. All right, these are not reviews, as they keep calling it. This is just saying, I am anticipating this movie. I want to go see it, or I don't want to go see it. That is what has been silenced on here. So it's not even reviews going up. All right, if the movie comes out and it's great, that's one thing. If people go on there and start spamming the movie and it's a great movie and all you're going to do is tie this to Brie Larson's comments, that's not the right answer to this either, all right? Because it's different. It is a separation. But if you want to go and share your displeasure with this and say, I'm not going to support this movie and I don't want to go see it because of what's happening, there shouldn't be any problem with that. And now that's gone. You can't leave a comment. You can't downvote it. You can't do any of that. All right, trolls are people who just want to stir stuff up for the sake of stirring stuff up. This was a cause and a reaction, all right? Something happened. It's a cause and effect. Plain and simple, all right? Like, if people wanted to go start trolling movies, you could just create communities and go troll the shit out of movies. I mean, I could sit here and just say the new Terminator movie, fuck that. I don't want to see another Terminator movie, so let's all band together and go downvote it and try to sabotage it. You don't see that stuff happening with all these different movies. All right, there's not like this agenda to sabotage film. People are just pissed off genuinely because they want to just go enjoy their movies. They just want to go watch a movie and relax and turn their heads off. And instead, the identity politics and this obsession with race and gender and stuff has to be this platform shoved into everybody's face. And nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. And if you want to talk about it, just be more inclusive with what you're saying, because the comments that are being made are divisive, and you can see how that's affecting people with everything. So it's just a bummer that this stuff is going on, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again, dude. We just want to go enjoy movies and have a good time. We shouldn't have to be worrying and focusing on all this other stuff. All right, it sucks because if these kinds of comments were made about any other race or women, it would be a complete fucking freak out, man. Like if you had a white male go and start saying this shit, like, well, we need less people of color reviewing movies, or we need less women reviewing movies, or however they went about saying it, that shit would get taken and ran with, and it would just be a complete shit show. So it shouldn't be okay for it to be the other way around. All right. Things need to be handled a little bit more appropriately. We just love film. We want to go watch movies. So I hope this video gets a little bit of traction, man, because I really just think everybody needs to just bond together here. It sucks that there's, all this butting heads. This is not what the film community should be about, and it sucks that we're even having these discussions. So love to know your guys' thoughts on this. I think it sucks Rotten Tomatoes has done this. There's no problem with people showing their displeasure towards Captain Marvel and having a problem with the things Brie Larson is saying. There's no problem with that at all. I genuinely feel that Brie Larson should be a little bit more careful with what's being said, and I think from the other side, some of these things might be blown out of proportion a little bit, but that's what's going to happen. If you're not watching what you say and just being careful with how it's being said, people are going to blow it out of proportion, all right? Like, this is the day of the internet. Everyone's got a voice to say what they want, except on Rotten Tomatoes, apparently. So thank you guys very much for watching. I would love to continue the discussion again in the comments and your thoughts with all of this. It's just a crazy fiasco, and it sucks that we're even having to talk about this stuff. So if you're new to my channel, though, please make sure to subscribe. I do a lot of things on my channel here. I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things again, but I can't ignore that this stuff has been happening because I'm an avid Marvel fan, and I still think, like, everything Marvel has done, and the fact that we get to sit here and watch comic book movies the way that we are. Infinity War, man, come on, dude. Like, the fact that we're sitting here getting to watch these movies, we got to get this shit out of here and not let this stuff get poisoned for anybody. We need to just enjoy our movies and carry on with the day. So thank you all for watching. I will catch you all next time.